Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harakakadash. The one is the apostles and elders of great most on the rule well. And Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of certain truth. Yeah, this article on the BBC talking about, the charagma, that mark. And it's like they kind of just do it every now and then. Like it's just a brand new thing. Just kind of bring out, oh yeah, there's there's this thing you can just get, it's just an implant, and then it's just it's so convenient. You can just put your hand, yeah, and it's more, it's been done, just at regular intervals, really just to kind of test the waters and to just kind of see how people respond to it, people take it, and people are warming up to it. Less so this one, and more just the what the hell is his name? Elon Musk's one. The was it Neuralink? The Neuralink. People warm up to that one more, just because it leans into the transhumanist agenda. Them thinking like, oh, we'll become, like superhumans. We'll be able to use your mind to interface with technology. You'll download your brain into a PC. But that's because they don't, they haven't actually looked at the reality of what's going down. Because even though like Elon Musk did the whole presentation with a monkey and having it move the what's it called, the mouse, the little mouse who used a stick originally. Then afterwards they unplugged it and they just had him moving it with his mind. That's like that's just like better base carnality kind of level, man. Actual like electrical signals just being recorded, which that's got nothing to do with the actual spirit getting put in the machine, man. But that's what people's minds are grabbed by, because Hollywood movies, these things. So, and this is the thing, is convenience is the appeal, because they've had it with the C-19 pass, saying, oh, you can just have it on you so it never gets lost. You had some kid in Italy on TikTok tattooing his QR code on himself. You had people getting it basically put on their their implants on their charagmas that they got inserted. And that's they're basically just doing the thingy and making the appeal of it broad. So there's, before it gets to it being mandatory, they're basically gonna collate. They're gonna put together a variety of reasons for people to be like, okay, yeah, let me jump on this, and then whatever form of crisis or whatnot they use as, okay, this is now, you're gonna have to make this mandatory. You're gonna have to make this a thing people have to get, because otherwise it's it's gonna be, there's no other way we're gonna be able to deal with this situation. And that's why you have just, oh look, it lets you pay with your hand. So yeah, says Patrick Pullman causes a stir whenever he pays for something in a shop or restaurant. This is because the 37-year-old doesn't need to use a bank card or his mobile phone to pay. Instead, he simply places his left hand near the contactless card reader and the payment goes through. And yes, people are like, oh, what? So I wouldn't even need to bring my wallet out. Oh, if I forget my wallet, if I forget my phone, I can still, I can still use public transport. I can still do X, Y, Z. That's really what it's meant to be. And even then, it's just people are still not just gonna jump on it that easy. So it says this is because the 37-year-old doesn't need to use a bank card or his mobile phone to pay. Instead, he simply places his left hand near the contactless card reader and the payment goes through. The reactions I get from cashiers are priceless, says Mr. Porman, a security guard from the Netherlands. He's able to use his hand because back in 2019 he had a contactless payment microchip injected under his skin. The procedure hurts as much as when someone pinches your skin, says Mr. Pullman. It lights up when it comes to close contact with a payment machine. It says a microchip was first implanted into a human back in 1998, but it's only during the past decade that the technology has been available commercially. And when it comes to implantable payment chips, British-Polish firm Walletmore says that last year it became the first company to offer them for sale. Yeah, and so it's been progressing because it's been in use before. Most people doing it were doing it to themselves, or it was like military. They also had like tracking chips for animals. You know, they were putting them in people as well, but like military and whatnot. Because they even had that in what year did it come out in? 2008? Am I thinking of? Or was it in one of the Daniel Craig movies? They had him get chipped as well. But I can't remember if it was Casino Royale. It would have been Casino Royale in 2006, or Quantum of Solace in 2008. Which one? I think it was Quantum Solace. I think it was 2008 Quantum Solace, because he's like he's on the run or something. So they they stick a chip in him to keep track, and that's what do you call it, MI6. So these government organizations, they would have been using these things within their personnel and whatnot, like the military and them, and that's as far as the tracking capabilities, that's the that's another key part of it as well. Because the monetary, using it for payments, which is that's the key way, that digital infrastructure of payment, that's the core of it. So says Revelation 13:16, he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Yeah, so you're unable to buy or sell without that system, and that's, well, like you said, now it's going commercial, because you've had people doing it. I remember years back, 2008, 2009, there was a guy I knew where it was like he with the what do you call it, the Oyster card, with the Oyster card you could like basically melt down the actual card and then just get like the chip and the little wire thing inside, and then you could basically put it inside anything else. So he had it put into like a fob kind of form, so it's just easier to kind of handle and manage. And it's like with it's these kinds of things, it's like people have been doing it by themselves. As far as with like the payment cards and whatnot, but now it's going commercial. Well, it said what, 2000 and Well, he said last year. Last year it was went. Yeah, it says last year it became the first company to offer them for sale. Which I don't even know how true that is, but because they've had it in well, the other thing as well is there's been companies that have been basically getting their staff to do it, mainly in like Denmark, Sweden, the Scandinavian areas. That's where they've been pushing that as well. So first comment, okay. The implant can be used to pay for a drink on the beach in Rio, or coffee in New York, or a haircut. And man, a fully just marketing speech. Just like, hey, you could just be flying around. Don't even need a wallet. Nigga, you need money in that wallet first. But it's gonna be tied in, with the new monetary system that comes after the current one collapses, because it's as far as for this present one, this shit is being maintained, it's being sustained. It's Frankenstein's monster. It ain't really actually able to sustain itself of its own volition. It's being propped up. So it says, or your local grocery store, says founder and chief executive Wojtek Paprota. And yeah, it's kind of in stores, that's where they're kind of leaning towards heavily the more Internet of Things mark system, because you have I don't know if there's still, well, how many there still are, but you had Amazon with their palm payment systems in their stores. They were doing where it would just be like you link up your palm with your Amazon account or whatever, and then when you're leaving you just tap, touch your palm and the payment goes out. And then you've had in China for a while those supermarkets where they'll have what's it called, RFID tags on the food. Well, actually they have that in the UK as well, because Uniqlo, the Japanese company, they have it there as well, where you basically just put and you just pick up whatever clothes and then you put it in like the basket. Then with the RFID tags, it just like will tally what you have and then just charge you. And that's the same thing like they have in China with those what are they called, supermarkets? Supermarkets, where people basically just have like a basket, they'll just put it in and then pay for it. And there as well, China, they've got the what is it, contactless? No, not even a contactless payment. They've got the what's it called? Not contactless. What the fuck is it called in digital currency. That's the one. Fucking hell. Fully evaded my brain. But yeah, they've got the digital currency already in China, and they've been utilizing it. And that's something that most other banks are kind of looking at, because if China gets ahead on it, then they'll be stuck using whatever systems China comes out with. So they're basically having to up their game. So Walletmore's chip weighs less than a gram and is a little bigger than a grain of rice. It's comprised of a tiny microchip and an antenna encased in a biopolymer, a naturally sourced material similar to plastic. Mr. Paprota, as it's entirely safe, has regulatory approval, works immediately after being implanted, and will stay firmly in place. Also doesn't require a battery or other power source. The firm says it's now sold more than 500 of the chips. the technology wallet more uses is near-field communication or NFC, the contactless payment system in smartphones. Other payment implants are based on RFID, which is the similar technology typically found in physical contactless debit and credit cards. Yeah, so man are just pushing it out there to really get in people's minds, man. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Yeah. Like as iron, that's the thing is, people that are jumping up to let Esau come and do whatever, with you, and that's all. And that's the thing is he's already got people's minds ready to accept that with juice, man. We're pushing that out. That people are already kind of got that with people that have complied with it. They've already got the mentality of, okay, if whatever kind of comes out, then we'll just run with it. We'll just accept it. Which in and of itself, then you just it's yeah. You're basically not heeding the scriptures, because as far as is of Esau, what's his goal, man? Ezekiel 28:2, it says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High Power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thine set thy heart as a heart of God. And that's really what Esau's doing. He's trying to be like the Most High. He's trying to set himself up and establish a system where he's able to be, trying to be a power over the whole earth. And these means he's doing it through is through carnal means, through technology. That's what he's trying to utilize to get the minds of the people, to get them down with it. And that's the thing is he knows how to sell, how to make these things seem appealing to the masses as well. Because the appeal of technology, like I mentioned, Elon Musk, that a lot of people just kind of think like because of they've been pushing out first of all because of Star Trek and what do you call it, like Blade Runner, what's the genre called, Blade Runner, it's called and like Altered Carbon, not thingy, it's cyberpunk kind of what do you call it, like TV shows and movies and whatnot. They've kind of pushed into the minds of the people like, fusion with technology is just kind of going forward. And that's why you have Elon Musk saying like, the what you call it, Elon Musk saying you need to, the only way we're going to be able to keep up going forward in the future is dumping the AI in your brain. And people hear these things, and it's like, because they're not actually looking into what these technologies are. They're thinking, you're going to be able to download, your brain's going to have access to Google, and you're just going to have all forms of information at your fingertips and blah blah blah. But that's not really, that's not even what what the actual level of technology that's there, and the capability for those things ain't even on the table. And that's the thing is for the elites, they're the ones that would try and utilize these things. They're the ones trying to get these means for themselves. But Second Thessalonians 2:3, it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, that for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." Yeah, that man of sin being revealed, the son of destruction, which is, Esau, Edom. And he's been revealed. That's why it's like all this, this guy's trying to set himself up forever. He's trying to have a kingdom where he can rule and have power over the nations, destroy Jake, and establish himself forever, utilizing his technology. Meanwhile, all the things that he's constructed, everything he's built is based off destruction, man. It's based off obliterating, having completely depleted the earth of its resources, and left it in a state where it's basically been destroyed, and it's being constantly destroyed and ground down at a worse rate. So if this guy was even to get into power, then it's going to be done out. It's going to be a wrap. There ain't going to be nothing left. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. And that's the thing, is a big part of, why people are looking at Esau like, okay, Esau is he's the most progressive, the most advanced, the wisest, the greatest. Is because Esau's basically constructed his image in the world to where he's basically replaced the Most High and his son with his own image, and he's essentially gone through history and planted himself as the key figure, and he's really planted himself as the key figure, and he's really just got everyone out here looking to him. He's the key. He's the one that they're following after. But then you look at how he actually rules. It's destruction. Because that's also why it's like they're saying, oh, we need to go sustainable. The planet's only got blah blah blah. No. Yeah, the planet's only got blah blah blah. Meanwhile, this guy is that's the thing as well, is in people are like it's the people in the Western world, and even people outside of it, the way that it's sold to them is like, you should be without you should want for nothing. You're gonna have copious amounts of resources to which you're basically never gonna have a need for anything. You're constantly just in the midst of technology, getting further, being able to do anything. You're going to be able to go into the metaverse. You're going to be able to go into all these different things, and basically any dream that you have, you're going to be able to achieve it. But those are things that are just sold, because in reality, it's like for the elites, they're the ones able to fulfill their desires and the things that they wish. But for the average Joe, this is out here. The average Joe, life's shit, man. They're just coming out here to grind. People are, in other parts of the world, they're looking at America like they're really out here thinking the streets were going to be paved with gold when they came. But here is, just another shithole, man. Esau's basically just gone round and heaped all the resources of the world onto himself. That's really the key thing. He went round, he robbed, he murdered, he took everyone's shit, and then he just has it to himself. And as such, then he's able to just be like, okay, he's able to maximize those resources and do what he needs to do. But then how long is that going to last? Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Yeah. No, wasn't even the one that I was thinking. It's 17 and 10. No, wrath is come. No. What is it? Uh, okay, yeah. Revelation 11:18. So that is what I meant to get. And the nations are angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy prophets and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And yeah, Esau's history, his destruction of the earth has been on a scale that has not even been able to be achieved before, man. When you went to the statue in Daniel 2, where you had Nebuchadnezzar, as a head of gold, you had Babylon as a head of gold, and it went down the different kingdoms, and the the materials lessened in value, and it went down to the bottom, which is the modern day kingdom, which is what the iron and miry clay, where you had a mixed. That shows the how with Esau's current rulership, it's not got any kind of what's the word, like it's not got any kind of beauty or luster, like how the ancient kingdoms were, because even how the earth would have been, and the strength that would have been in the earth, to even offer things onto the people, onto the food, onto like the wonders that would have been around back then. So like the hanging gardens in Babylon, that was known as a world wonder. But then what is it? Now it's Esau's basically what he's just piling up concrete, and calling it some form of greatness. This guy has thrown up, big, humongous like glasses. There's one guy talking about the shard, just saying like, "Yo, it looks like a piece of shit. It looks like shit, man. I hate it." I was like, "Yeah, same." It's like it's a giant phallic symbol. It's just like same thing. That's what they fucking have. Which that all Esau's done is what? Is destroys. He's depleted the earth of hella resources, and when there's been a system to it. That's why you get things like the Dust Bowl, where you just have the ground give out, and then what? It's a mess. Ain't gonna be able to last. Esau's thinking about ruling for eternity. This guy can't even manage himself for any kind of reasonable amount of time. He should, like, if the time wasn't shortened, as it says in the scriptures, there'll be no flesh left to be saved. But yeah, this guy's marked, man. He's looking to push it out there. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Shalom.